Hello everyone, this is Rajesh. Welcome to my YouTube channel Defreeze Coding. This is my second video. In this video, we're gonna discuss a business case, and then based on the business case, we're gonna implement the business requirements into our application. Let's discuss the business case first. Let's assume we have an enterprise named ABC that uses the SAP HR software system to manage their human resources. SAP HR system will hold the employee data. The enterprise decides to implement another solution for managing the software safety incidents. Uh, Safety incidents. So that module needs the copy of the employee data, but that software cannot talk directly to the SAP HR system. The enterprise can take two routes, uh, or purchase a third-party integrator that can get a copy of the data from SAP HR system or move it to the destination system. That's going to be expensive because they have to procure the license for the software and the implementation cost. The second route is the cost effective, the cheaper solution. Build the integrator in-house using dotnet. Uh, Based on the budget, the enterprise can decide option one or option two. Let's assume they took option two and they want to build a in-house application. Let's yeah, we're gonna do that. This is the business. This is the business case. We're gonna build a solution to implement this business case. To start, last in the last class, we did install the Visual Studio Code for our development. On top of it, today we're going to install a toolkit that's going to uh, help us being productive on Visual Studio Code. This extension provides some handy feature that can be leveraged quickly. So let's take a look at the extension. So this all the links will be posted in the description. You should be able to grab it and quickly use it. So it's available in the marketplace. Go ahead and install this toolkit. Once it is done, you open up Visual Studio Code, and then go to this extension tab. You should see it here. Once you see it, that represents you have this extension successfully installed. Let's go back to the presentation. So we have the toolkit installed. Next is what is C#. Uh, so in the last video, we just started with the Hello World program. We didn't discuss much. We'll start with the C# concept. What is C#? C# is a most popular programming language in .NET platform that is open source, multi-platform, and free to use. Using C#, developers can create a highly productive applications. Uh, and then we next thing is we're gonna create a we're gonna create a folder to start with. Let's go back to files, open up file, new folder, go to your favorite location where you want to save the files. I'm going to create a new folder. So whenever you create a app or a project, make sure you name that app uh, properly, so that using a user-friendly name, so that the app name makes sense, and also it provides a gist of what the application is going to be. So in this application, we're going to move data from source to the destination. So I'm going to call it as a data mover. So let's say create a folder called data mover. Yep, we have the data mover created. The next thing is so I'm going to create a solution file. Solution file. Why we need a solution file? So Solution file is a way to organize your project. So consider you have multiple projects and then you want to organize within one single place. Then solution files comes handy. And then it has many features. One of the other features is, right, if you want to build your project using different configuration settings like debug, release, and then x64, x32, then the solution file really help us to get this configuration going. So let's get started. So go to terminal, open up your new terminal, and then we're going to use the dotnet driver to create it. So dotnet, we're going to use a new parameter to create a new project or a solution. In this case, we're going to create a solution, and then we're going to provide a name saying, hey, the solution should be this. Yeah. So data mover. So okay, it did create a folder, the file data mover.solution under the data folder, data mover folder. We can go back here and then take a look at that, or we don't need to. Yeah, that's fine. The next piece, when we have the solution file created, uh, I will post the link that explaining what is a solution file, what are the features in the description. The next piece is, right, so we have the solution created. We need to create the actual project. We're going to use the console project one more time. So let's go ahead and create a console. .NET, same thing, new. The template will be console. And then we're going to give a name for the project, not name for this console project. We're going to say data mover. That's our application. And then this is a console application. The console application, you need to provide a quick identifier, usually a batch dot console or whatever name that can quickly identify, hey, this project is this type. Usually, right, if it's a web application, we could say whatever the application dot web that quickly represents it's a web app. In this case, right, since it's a console, I'm gonna pick a name dot batch so that, right, it quickly identifies it's a console project. And then I'm gonna use the language parameter to specify it's going to be C#. Hmm. Maybe let's see. Oh, there it is. It's case sensitive. It should not be a uppercase C. It should be a lowercase c. So we got the project created. Yep, there it is. You can see it. Yep. You can see a program.cs file created. That's good. Let's go back. Okay, the next thing is, right, comma separated file. So as per the business requirement, right, the SAP HR system has the ability to export the data as a comma separated file. So what is comma separated file? Comma separated file is a popular format that is used to store and then exchange data in a text file format. It's just a text file, but with a specification. Uh, so the values will be separated by commas. I'm going to show you that. So let's go ahead and create a let's go ahead and create a CSV file. Don't save, not needed. So um, let's assume this is going to be a small sample CSV file. It's going to have the header first. We're going to have first name, last name. Let's have a department, and then the role. Let's say, yeah, role, whatever the role. The next one, I'm going to pick some name. So John A. The department is IT, say data engineer. Then we got Tom B. His name with IT, software engineer. Say Kevin C. Sales engineer, sales representative, maybe. So we have the data file, sample data file. Do a save as. Oh, I'm gonna save this as like employee data dot CSV. So make sure you put the format, put the file name in the CSV, or you have to specify the. It doesn't provide an option for a CSV file. You always put a double quote file name dot CSV and a double quote. This will make sure your files are saved as a CSV file. Let's go ahead and save. The file is saved. Yeah, let's go. Let's open up the folder to verify the file gets saved correctly. So go to Visual Studio Code, Data Mover. Oh, see the file as the employee data.csv. That's perfect. Let's move on. So we got this data file created. So the moving on. So what we need is, right, we want to create a console application that can pass the CSV file, grab the content and display it on the screen. That's the uh, th- that's the piece we're going to do it in this class. So, and then the second piece is, right, grabbing. We have the content stored in the local variables, and then we'll pass it to the destination. That will happen in the next video. So let's focus on the first piece of the video. So we have this one ready. So we have the DataMover.Batch batch project ready. Let's go back to the class presentation. We have the next piece is the class. Okay, so what is a class? Class is a user-defined or a custom blueprint that combines the variables and the methods into a single unit that can be used to implement a piece of a business requirement. Here, right, our business requirement is to uh, grab the file, parse the file content, and then display it on the console. So we have to create a class that's going to implement this requirement. So let's go ahead and create one. Yeah, this pop-up window will not show up if you don't have the developer kit extension installed. Make sure you install it so that it provides the ability to create a new file. So I'm going to create a new file. So I'm going to create a meaningful name. So manager.cl.cs. So this file, I'm going to use all my file operations within this class. Um, we're going to use a namespace to make sure we're going to group the classes together. So the namespace will be similar to your project. So here, right, this project is DataMover.Batch. I'm going to use the uh, same name as the namespace. Okay, so once we have the namespace, and the next we'll be creating a class. So the, the class, usually the class name should be the file name. So so that, right, it's user friendly. So looking at the file name, you'll get to know, oh, this is going to be the class. Or you may not need that. You can have multiple classes within a single class file, but, right, for simplicity, we're going to have one class per one file. We have the class, right? So class keyword specifies this is going to be the class, and then this is the access modifier. what is an access modifier. So let's go ahead. Look at this. Okay, namespace. I'm gonna put that link in the chat. So I haven't opened it up. So so class access modifier, uh, as the name implies, right? It specifies the access of this class, where you uh, which how far this class can be accessible. So if you say public, or it will be accessible within the same within all the classes within the project. So if you create a class with a public access modifier, that can be accessible in all other classes. If you make it private, then the inheritance comes in. So it will not be accessible by other classes. And then we have public, private, protected. We will learn about it. Let's stick to the public right now. If it is public, this class can be accessible to all other classes. So public class file manager. So as we said, that class, this is a combination of variables and the methods. Uh, so we're not going to create any variables. We're going to go ahead and create the uh, method. So I'm going to make a meaningful, yeah, maybe I'm going to name this method a meaningful way, so that, right, it's user friendly. So what we're going to do is we're going to pass file, and extract data. So that could be the name we can give. So yeah, our parse file and get data. That could be a good name. So let's do that. Um, so this method is going to take parameters. So string file name. So I'll explain what's going to happen here. So we have the method created, and it takes the file name as a parameter. This is done. So I want to make sure, okay, we're going to compile this program to make sure there are no compilation errors. .NET build. Okay, just okay. Okay, there are errors. So what we did is that we created a solution file, we created the console file. We forgot to create. We need to add the solution file to the. It's the other way around. We have to add the console file to the solution file, so that, right, when it builds the solution file, it understands how many projects are within that solution. Let's go ahead and add this project, console project, into the solution. So .NET, and then we're going to use the .NET driver word, and the solution is the keyword. We're going to say the solution is the parameter, and then another parameter add, and then this we're going to add the CS file project. It is under the folder data mover. I'm going to show you that one. So the solution file is here, but the CS project is under this folder data mover.batch. So we're going to do this one, data mover dot batch slash same thing, data mover dot batch dot csproj. Okay, okay, boom, it got added. Let's build it again. Yep, it's building it. That's good. Okay, no errors, no warnings. That's good. The next thing is, right, we have this hello world still. If I run it, the hello world should get displayed. Let's run. I'm expecting an error. Yeah, let's see it. So I couldn't find a project to run. So it means we are running from the data mover project. That is right, not data mover folder. That is from here. And then the the CLR is trying to find a entry point of the project that is going to be the main function that doesn't exist, because the entry point is this one, program.cs file, that is under the datamover.batch file. So we are running the .NET.run in the wrong folder. So that's a good point. So the CLR always looks for a entry point within the folder. It should be uh, entry the uh, entry point should exist. Otherwise, the CLR doesn't know what to do. In this case, right, we have the solution file. We are running under this root folder. The root folder doesn't have any project that contains the entry point. The DataMover.Batch is the project that does have an entry point. So what we have to do is, right, we have to navigate to the DataMover.Batch. Let's run the same command again. .NET run. It should run. Yep, the CLR is able to find the entry point and then able to start the sequence of steps. Let's go back to the article. So on this right, uh, yeah, the methods right here, right? You can see, okay, there's a main method, right? Main method is the entry point of the C# application the CLR needs. So uh, so it says main method, but we don't have a main method. Why? So the trick is right now we are skipping, we are using the top level statement, meaning, okay, this CLR creates the main method on runtime and then executes the statement sequentially. If you want to be following the old style like a classic way, we could create our own main method. So let's go ahead and do that. Now let's delete this one. Let's start with the namespace. Always is a good practice to start with a namespace. Data mover.batch batch, and then the next thing is I could create a public or a private class. So let's go ahead with public and private, and then the standard is follow the file name, and then I can have a public static void main, and then it does take string args. Okay, so yep, this is the hierarchy. So we should have a namespace, and then we should have a class program, the class, and then the static void method. This is the entry point that the CLR will always look for. This is the static function. We will discuss the keyword static and its purpose in the following classes. Let's stick to this syntax. So just it should be public static void main string args, and then put your things. Yeah, we have the namespace ready. So let's go ahead and build it again. Let's see what happens. Technically, it should run the program and then display the text hello world on the console. Let's see. Okay, it should be this one. It says, okay, the program does not contain a static main method suitable for the entry point. Let's see. Yeah, so it's once again, it's case sensitive. So yeah, it shouldn't be small, the lowercase m, it should be the uppercase m. So that kind of fixed the issue. So public static void main. Yeah, let's go ahead and clear the screen. Okay, so let's moving on. Let's going back to we did cover class access modifier, and then the next one is the object. So if you go through the article, this article explains, okay, what is a class and what is an object. So here, right, it says, okay, we did create a file manager as a class. The next thing is, right, what is an object? Yeah, object is a block of memory that is configured and allocated based on a blueprint. So we have the class that is a blueprint. You want to allocate a memory to the class. We need to instantiate a class object using a new operator. Then that will allocate the memory. So that's so the next thing is, right, we're going to create an instantiation. Uh, let's go ahead and do it. So we have this class created. We're going to I'm just going to print a message for the simplicity. So console dot write line. I'm going to start with the $sign. This will allow us to print the static hard-coded values as well as the dynamic variable values. So what I'm going to do is, right, I'm going to say parsing the file, and then put a curly braces, and then this one. So I'm going to say it's going to say print the text message saying passing the file, and then it's going to print the file name that is going to be parsed. The next piece is, right, so we need to pass. We do have a file, CSV file that has the data, so we need to pass this data. So I'm going to, there's a quick trick. So press a shift and then do a right click. Then it will give you a copy as a path option. Copy that. It will give you the fully qualified path of the file. So I'm going to say string file name equal. There it is. I got the fully qualified file path, including the file name. So right now, right, the result single slash, right, single slash needs a escape sequence in .NET. So we're going to put a symbol at the beginning of it. So that, right, the .NET understands, okay, and the forward slash is just part of the string. That's a variable, that's fine. It says never assigned, that's okay. The next piece is, right, we're going to create an object for our class file manager, and just all the classes will start with the uppercase letter. All the objects, classes, and the methods will always start with uppercase letters, and the objects and the variables will always follow the lowercase uh, letter. So here, right, file name I started with the lowercase f. Same thing with the object. That's kind of a coding standard that we usually use. File manager. So this piece is we have I have used a new keyword, and then I have instantiated an object of the type file manager. So this is the object creation. Once I have the object creator, right, so this will give me access to the public methods inside this class. So we have created a public method. So public void, this is a return type. We are not going to return anything, and then this is a method name, and then it's going to take one string variable as a parameter. Uh, so we have this method, and then we should pass the string string file name with the fully qualified path as the file name string, as a file name string. Let's go ahead and pass it. So when I run this program, what it has to do is, it has to print two statements, hello world, and then the next one is, right, passing this file with the fully qualified file path and the file name. Let's go ahead and build .NET build. Okay, .NET run. Okay, so here it is. We got the two statements, hello world, and then we have the second statement passing the file. We got the files passed. That's good. So we are able to get the file name. The next piece is right. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. We're gonna do the stream reader. So stream reader. So we have the article here. You can read through it. The stream reader provides a stream reader class that provides ability to read characters from a stream in a specified encoding. So the stream, right? In this case, that our stream is the file. So we're gonna read from the file stream, read all the content, and then display it on the console. So we're gonna use two functions. There is a peek function here, right? We're gonna use the peek one and the read line to implement our requirement. Peek read. So let's go back to the code. So go back here. So we have it, and then first thing we're gonna use is using. Yeah, we'll look at the using keyword later. Let's focus on the stream reader first. Stream reader, stream reader, and then we are going to instantiate an object, and then we're going to pass the parameter here, the file name as a parameter. What this statement is going to do is it's going to create an object of the type stream reader uh, with the um, with the parameter as file name. It's going to open up a connection to the file, and then it's going to open up a connection to the file, and it's ready to read the file or write the file based on the actions that we're going to write. So in this case, right, we're going to just read the file. So we're going to use the while. So while is uh, a loop which is going to repeat the block of a statement or a statement until the condition is true. So we want to repeat here, right? We want to repeat. We have multiple lines within the file, so we want to keep reading one line at a time and then keep repeating until the end of the file. So we have the stream reader. We're going to use dot peek. Peek is the method that's going to check for any character that exists, any that exists, uh, or it's going to provide an end of a line. So if the return value of the peek method is greater than or equal to 0, then means we have more characters to read. When it reaches -1, it means if we have reached the end of file, there is nothing to read. So you can read the documentation, it will provide more details. So we're going to look for the condition saying, hey, if there are characters, keep repeating the below statements. Um, what we're going to do is, right, we're going to create a string variable, the string variable, the variable. So this is a local variable, but technically a variable is a container to uh, store values of certain type. In this case, right, the string. String is nothing but a text. We're going to store text characters in this variable. Uh, the stream reader provides a method for reading the content. So we're going to say read line. So this is a nullable string. So we will talk about the nullable string later. Let's focus. Just use this as is. And so this line actually, what it does is, right, it's going to read the first line. So let's open up. I'm going to give you this one. So when right now, right, this using statement actually uh, got access to the file. It's ready to read. It's at the cursor will be here. The read line is going to read the first line, and then it's the end of the statement, right? We don't have anything else. Uh, are we can have a statement. So I'm going to check saying if the line is not empty. So meaning, okay, if the string dot is now are empty, line. Same thing, console dot write line. I need to print it on the console, right? So we're gonna start with a dollar, and then I'm gonna say content from the file, and then we're gonna use the curly braces, then use the variable. Okay, so we have the loop. It's going to look at, okay, where is the cursor? Uh, does the file has any more characters to read? It says yes. If it says yes, it's going to read the first line. I'm checking, is it an empty line, or does it have any value? If it has any values, then print it. And then this is the end of the loop. Uh, and then it's going to repeat. That's the meaning of the loop. It's going to repeat same thing. It would have come to this line. So does it have any value? This is the check. Yes. Then it's going to read this line. First line, 2, 3, 4. It's going to repeat 4 times, and at the fifth time it will reach the end of the line. It will be on the fifth line here, yeah, or end of this line, and it's going to say, hey, does it have any more values? Then it says no. The loop will fail, and then it will come out of the loop, and then the function will get completed and then go back to the main method. That's a sequence. If you go through the documentation and then play around with this, then you will understand. So yeah, this is a simple flowchart saying, hey, we are in the loop. uh, as long as the condition is true, it's going to repeat the statements again and again. When the condition is false, then it's going to quit. Same thing, as long as we have characters to read, it's going to continue to read. Once it reaches the end of the file, then it's going to quit. Let's do a clear. Let's do a build. Let's see what happens. .NET build. Okay, yeah, it's able to build. That's good. .NET run. It should technically print 5, or it should say 6 lines. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. We have the hello world, and then we have the um, file name, and then we have the content from the file. 4 data lines are grabbed and then printed. Cool. So in this video, right, we were able to implement the first piece of uh, first the first piece of the business requirement, that is right, reading the CSV file, grabbing the data. um, that's done. The next video, we will store these values in a variables, and then we will try to export that data, or we should try to export the data to the destination system. Yeah, we will discuss it in the next class. Till then, bye. Thank you all. Have a good one.